What's going on, fellow Sambarians? So, I see this question come up quite a bit. If you buy the factory fog lights for your Sambar in Yahoo auctions, whatever, and so this video is not going to be a full-on installation of the fog lights, but I think it'll be more on just wiring up the fog lights, or I don't know, we'll see how much I decide to film on this. But I got some fog lights in Yahoo auctions that came with the wiring harness and the plug and all that stuff. So I'm trying to figure out how to plug it into the truck as if it was plugged into it like from the factory. So if you get your wiring, if you get all the switch, there's going to be 4 wires coming off. 2 going towards, one going towards the actual light clips itself. Another one obviously going to your 12 volt or your power. You also have these 2, which I'm assuming that these plug into, say, your running lights, and somehow when you plug these 2 into the running lights, it kicks on the running lights, because as it should be, when you turn on your fog lights, it should turn on your running lights as well, not just fog lights. So I guess this video isn't going to be super perfect, because I'm not going to worry about these 2 wires. But if you pull off I pulled off the dash, the bottom of the steering column, you can match the red and green and red and yellow wires that these once spliced into. So if that's how you want to do it, you can find them in the clump of wires right there. You can find them in that clump of wires and you can plug into them. But I don't really care about the running lights being on. I just want the fog lights. So I can turn on the running lights manually and then flick the switch for the fog lights. So that was what else I was looking for, was our 12 volt. So it's got an inline fuse. So it has a plug down here and then this kind of plug setup. So one's a male and one's female. So I was like, oh, well, it must plug into an existing plug under the dash somewhere. So you just got to poke around until you find a red wire that's got a plug similar to this, so you can plug into it and then create like a inline plug splice into the other one. Sure enough, there is one down there with this style plug that is a 12 volt constant. So being a 12 volt constant, these will just turn the fog light. The fog lights will go on. Well, that's just like the headlights too. It goes on without the key. It doesn't matter. So scratch all that, but this will plug right in. So I'll show you where that's at. So I found it a little easier if you go in from the passenger side and try to poke around. It's not very fun poking around in these things when it comes to finding things. So I already unplugged it, but if you go down to your like wire loom coming up through the floor, here is, oh my gosh, here's that red wire right here, and it was plugged in. I unplugged it, so I'm going to plug in the wiring harness for the fog lights, and then the other half of that red wire is right, can you see it? Let's see, can we see it? Yeah. Crap. Oh, you can kind of see it there. Oh, falling. So what that means is I'm going to plug my female into this, and then the male end's going to go into that, which will complete this line and then also give me the power line for the fog light switch, which I'm going to do something a little different. I think I'm going to be a little different. And then I think I'm not sure, I'm not there yet, where the wire runs out to the fog lights. It might run out through the, I don't know if it runs out through the floorboard, or it might run out where the headlights are. That's going to be coming up soon when I try to figure that out, because there's wiring that goes up here, so we'll see how we can get out to the bumper itself. But I figured I would show where your 12-volt constant is, which is everyone should have their wire loom with a red wire with that single plug, which is good to know, because I wonder, that probably kills a lot of power. So if you're in a panic and need to cut off power, I guess you can go down there and yank that. But here's what I was talking about with the wire loom for the other plug. If you splice in, so here's your red and yellow wire right there, and then the red and green one is down. Where's my finger at? What the heck is going on? And the red and green one was right there. So I'm assuming you could splice into these if you want to do it the factory way, but I'm not going to worry about that, just because I'll turn the fog lights on regardless. So you can take your cover off and run into that. Oh yeah, so let me show you this. So typically your fog light switch, I believe, would go over there. I think there or there, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna put it here where the diff light? The diff lock would typically go. I think I can remove that cap and we'll put the switch in there, which would be kind of cool, because then it just kind of all flows right here and I don't have just one random switch in the clump of caps. So I'll put the fog light switch there. Hopefully, we might have to lengthen the wires to fit all the way outside, but it'll look cool with the switch there. And yeah, so you saw where that plug is. I'm gonna plug it in and start running wires, and then see how we can get outside, and I'll kind of show you guys where I ran my wires and see what happens. All right, small slit. I pulled the boot down just to kind of get a good spot, but I made a slit just big enough to get the wire through. That way we can just kind of cinch it up to the existing wire loom here, so it's not super obvious back there. And then these had some kind of, they had like the little sticky wire looms, which I'm assuming maybe stuck. Not sure. Maybe those stuck to here, or they stuck to the back of here. I'm not sure. I'm gonna figure that out. The last one I did, I ended up just kind of drilling a couple holes in these plastic like fins, and then zip tied the wire up to it, made my own little wire loom. But we'll see. Like I said, I don't have these clips right now. I ordered them from Subaru, so we're gonna wait on those. But I figured I would just get the wiring going and everything dialed in inside, and we'll figure out how to I mean, we could essentially just reuse these, put some more 3M on there, so maybe we can kind of tack them to the cab, the metal part. Or if it was under here, I'm not sure, but there we go. I'm gonna get this where it needs to be, and then I'll take some silicone, and we'll make sure that's sealed up so we don't get any water inside the cab. And yeah, that's how I'm gonna do it. Oh man, okay. So I kind of got it. Oh gosh, that hurts. Kind of have everything zip tied, ran it up. I'll do a little better wire cleanup, but just kind of showing what I did. Just clumped everything right there with the wiring harness. I mean, the existing wiring loom there. Obviously my button right here, so I got it plugged in. Let's, oh man, what's going on here? And I have the ground just kind of, the heck, man? I have the ground just kind of stuck in here right now, but I'll ground something off of the steering column here. But turn the switch on. Make sure. Yeah. And I got the LEDs in here, the H3 LEDs. And shout out to Reese for 3D printing the trim rings for the fog lights, because the ones that this set went for really cheap in Yahoo auctions. I mean, I think it was like 30 bucks for the lights and the wiring and the switch, which is just crazy because finding a complete set's just insane. But the trim or the bezel around the fog light was broken. I mean, the fog lights are perfect, no scratches, cracks or anything. They're in good color too. But again, the bezel was busted, so I don't think anybody wanted it. But Reese 3D, I sent him a file and he 3D printed the trim rings, so we'll see how they do out in the elements. But they look pretty fancy, all shiny and black and new. But yeah, I mean, I got the wire coming down through there. I'll just kind of re-stick those to the body and get it all mounted up. But since I don't have the clips to actually put the fog lights in right now, I think I'll just call this the video. I just really wanted to show where you can plug into the existing wiring in the truck if you get a fog light set with the whole wiring. I did already make a video for my van where I went and actually bought a relay and wired it all up myself and just had it run off of the corner markers or the running lights, just because that fog light set didn't come with the button and all that good stuff. So I see people asking, you know, I got the wiring, how do I plug it in? So that's what this video is for. I don't think I'll show the rest again. I already have another video, shows everything, cutting the bumper out, which is just cutting out these and blah blah blah. So you can check out that video, but this again was just the wiring. So yeah, hopefully that helps answer some questions if you're trying to figure out how to put fog lights in, or Yahoo auctions. Look for those in Yahoo auctions. They pop up all the time. And try to get one with a good bezel. If not, they can be 3D printed. I think it's on Thingiverse. The file's on Thingiverse, the STL file. So I'll just find somebody who can 3D print, and that's how you plug it in. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.